Good morning. Thank you for the time being. My name is Edi Ramawijaya Putra. I'm going to present my dissertation entitled Exploring Sociolinguistic Competence Orientations in Indonesian FL Pedagogy, a qualitative case study of 2 secondary school teachers. My full draft of dissertation submitted to the committee consists of 234 pages, so I hope I can use the time efficiently to cover the essence and the empirical findings. To do so, first, let's take a look to the overview of today's presentation. I will review the underlying assumptions that I used to urge why this study is important to conduct. I will also present the empirical work in order to show that all research questions posed in this study have been completely explored and answered. Next, I will go directly to the conclusions that generated from the results of the analysis and then give a pedagogical implication, which for me is the most significant part, and then the last is the direction for the future studies. Dear professors and distinguished audience, if we take a look deeper and more comprehensively to the existing curriculum, widely known as Curriculum 2013, Kurikulum 2013, of Indonesian English as a foreign language formal curriculum, it provides a plenty of opportunity for learners to develop their productive skills, communicativeness, sociolinguistic interactions, and productions. Through Minister's Policy number 21 in year 2016 about standard content, sets of the competences are officially stated as a learning outcomes that must be achieved by every EL learners. Distinguished audience, this study also had been inspired by the advancement of theories in sociolinguistics from a variety of scholars. Among those, Kanagaraja views on alignments of diverse semiotic resources with spatial repertoire, Blomar's principles of sociolinguistic mobile resources, Jenkins' parameters of ELF, or English as a remote fragment, Garcia's trans-languaging of pedagogy resources, and Alastair Pennycook on the concept of resourcefulness in language pedagogy. So those are twofold underlying assumptions that used me to direct my current studies. Dear professors and distinguished audience, many previous studies have been done in this discipline. Sociolinguistic competence was explored in the pedagogical arena. For instance, Misner in 1997, Yu in 2000, Gibson and Swan, Bain and Dikitelas, and the others. The most interesting previous study I tried to review is that from Reis and Leon. These scholars studied the sociolinguistic competence, and they concluded that the demands and the affordances of massive and connectivity of today's world is really convenient to be covered in every terms of the language pedagogy setting, including EFL. And the last is the study from Volkan in 2014. He testified the strategy, namely imitating alike variations. He came up with the conclusion that this strategy is quite effective in terms of developing sociolinguistic competence in the study of rural context. Respected professors and audience, filling the gaps of what previous study had accomplished, my research is aimed at exploring these research questions. Research question number 1, what are the two EFL teachers' belief and knowledge about sociolinguistic competence? Research question 2, how do the two EFL teachers integrate sociolinguistic competence in their teaching plan documents? Research question number 3, how do the two EFL teachers implement sociolinguistic competence in their teaching? And the last is, what are the difficulties faced by the two EFL teachers in implementing sociolinguistic competence? I wrote many theories that related to my study and also some previous studies, but because of the time constraint, I only bring some major literature used in this beautiful moment. Number of theories relevant works, and underlying body of literature anchored in this dissertation. However, I only brought two of the most significant reviews for this presentation. For me, it is important to present the storyline, the quest, this history of the notional shift of sociolinguistic competence that started from the conservative theory of communicative competence that quite famous during 1980s, proposed by Canali and Swain. For those who are quite interested with ELP, communicative competence is quite familiar with that. And then, sociolinguistic competence is defined as a set of knowledge to interpret utterances for social meaning. It then developed by the scholars named Celso Borsia, Zoltan Dorni, and Susan Turel in 1985. This group of scholars distinguished the rules of discourse and socio-cultural rules as a basis of sociolinguistic competence during 1995, sorry. And then for the most advancement of the sociolinguistic theory was come up from Bloommark's thoughts on contemporary sociolinguistic study, which largely raised the issues of scale, polycentricity, and lexicality. Insight from Jennifer Jenkins also really inspired my study. She proposed the term English in taste, and also scholars Alastair Pennycook and Oliver Otsuji on their metrolingual and multitasking principle, polycentric and resourceful speakers, and the last is the distinction of the transformation from Suresh Kanagaraja, who highly discussed on the transformation of competence to engagement. Distinguished audience, for the sake of this study, sociolinguistic competence is developed based on the current insights that I mentioned above from the scholars I mentioned in the previous slides. In the light of this concept, this study moved its paradigm from seeing sociolinguistic competence as a static, in motion, to be more egalitarian, to embrace the development of spatial repertoire, assemblage, translingual literacy, translingual English, translanguaging as a pedagogic resource, and resourceful speakers in e-language pedagogy. As the knife to chop the phenomenon, this study applies qualitative approach with case study design. The combination of snowball and proposed sampling technique were used to get the ideal participant involved in the study. Clara and Alex are the two pseudonyms awarded to the participant. Both of the participants were employed in the secondary school in Jakarta. The data collections were conducted in 2017. Since this research data required in the study was multiple resources, the data analysis technique used was critical descriptive, as suggested by many qualitative scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present the empirical findings of this study. As we can see here in the display, based on the responses of both EFL teachers, 10 taxonomies of beliefs about sociolinguistic competence were identified in this study. As you may see here in the slides. You may see at glance from the slides the 10 beliefs that are identified. From the responses, it can be categorized the clusters into three emerging frameworks based on the key characteristic of every belief that are identified. First, EFL teachers believe that sociolinguistic competence is an ability to produce utterances for specific context or under situated activity. Second, EFL teachers believe that sociolinguistic competence is a mutual intelligibility shared among speakers. And the last is sociolinguistic competence is believed to have its pedagogical relevance, especially when English learners shuttle from their mother tongue to target language in order to complete their academic intentions. For research question number one, because it's twofold. First one is belief dimension, and the second one is knowledge dimensions. In the knowledge dimension, this study has identified the EFL teachers' possessions of twofold knowledge, namely content knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge, which is the most two important knowledge that must be acquired by every teacher in every world. Knowing the way sociolinguistic competence work towards socio-cultural rules, knowing the social contextual factors, the appropriateness as the key to apply sociolinguistic competence, the activities to vary, to produce, to maintain the discourse, knowing the principles of resourcefulness of the speakers, knowing how to implement the translinguistic pedagogic resource are the key elements to characterize twofold competence that I call content knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge. For the second, this study has identified strategies applied teachers to integrate sociolinguistic competence in their teaching plan, and based on the analysis, 3 out of 4 translingual literacy methods, namely in voicing, interactional strategy, recontextualization, were applied throughout the written teaching plan. As you can see here in the slide, the evidence that I identified from 2 teaching plans that I examined during the study. In the left side of the tables is the underlying framework, and on the right side are the evidence to connect the key characteristics. Distinguished audience, for the research question number 3, there has been a great tendency to advocate post-method micro-strategies throughout EFL teachers' implementation of sociolinguistics in the classroom. It shows that 7 of 10 post-method of micro-strategies were adopted to implement sociolinguistic competence. The strategies include maximizing learning opportunities, facilitate negotiated interaction, promote learner's autonomy, activate intuitive heuristics, contextualize linguistic input, integrate language skill, raise cultural consciousness. As you can see here, the recordings were derived from the field notes during the observation. I personally sent an email to Professor Kumara Marivelu in Indiana University and give some reviews about the findings to get a second opinion. Because I was lucky to attend his workshop in Surabaya in Ujian Mandala 2 years ago, so I have a direct connection to the theories and the claim. For the last research questions is that about the difficulties. The difficulties faced by EFL teachers in implementing sociolinguistic competence in their practice were the problem that caused mainly by the teachers' own competence, curriculum and syllabus, testing and assessment of the language teaching, and students' own capacity. And then we can see the evidence, the proof that I can display here in the slides, why those 4 key of the sources become the main problems of the teacher's problem. The Committee of Public Defense and Distinguished Audience. This study concluded that the EFL teachers' efforts in integrating sociolinguistic competence in teaching plan was greatly influenced by the presence of belief and knowledge. Having an abundant belief and knowledge about the importance of sociolinguistic competence become a foundation to establish learning processes written in the teaching plan in order to attain the learning objectives as stated in the national EFL curriculum that I presented earlier in the previous slides. This study also concludes that the implementation of sociolinguistic competence in EFL pedagogy faced several difficulties. As far as this study could explore, learners' capacity become the most dominant problems in the implementation of sociolinguistic competence. EFL teachers' difficulties in the teaching of sociolinguistic competence typically foregrounded by the classroom ecological condition, which includes teacher-owned competence, curriculum syllabus, learners' capacity, and language learning assessment. This problem was caused by the problem to transfer the views that come from the teacher itself, to transfer the views from the notion competence to replacement. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the novelty that can be drawn from this study? Because I'm writing dissertation, doctoral thesis, I need to present the theoretical contribution for the existing literature discussion. What is the novelty can be drawn from this study? Based on what this study had found, I may contribute to the advancement of the notion of sociolinguistic competence. As we know, the theoretical backdrop of sociolinguistic competence was so germane with the orthodoxy of qualitative competence. For instance, Canalian Swain, long decades after the emergence of the current sociolinguistic, appeared to criticize the absence of locality contact, language in place, multi-semiotic and multimodalities aspect for today's communication, such as the view from scholars from John Bloomart, Suresh Kanagarajan, Alastair Panicook, Ophelia Garcia, Dwight Atkinson, and Jennifer Jenkins. In the light of post-method pedagogy for language learning, Kumara Padivelu has come across the need for every teacher not to romanticize CLT as a hegemonic, but rather the CLT must be treated as an umbrella to see how the language suits its ideal form to be taught for certain condition or classroom. Thus, Kumara Padivelu speak up on practicality, possibility, and particularity of which CLT or other teaching method must be contextualized. In order to make post-method pedagogy possible, teacher must have strong beliefs and knowledge to implement the notion of sociolinguistic competence to overcome the difficulties that they encounter in class. The last but not least is that in Indonesian EFL context, making text fully functional as a central unit to develop sociolinguistic competence is very important, because we know that mostly teachers in Indonesia apply gender-based method in getting more popular in curriculum 2013 implementation. To make sure the presence of content knowledge and pedagogical content knowledge in every EFL teacher's pre-service and in-service training should be revisited. In-service teacher professional development must be reassessed to address more on the sociolinguistic orientation. Moreover, teachers will be able to overcome the difficulties that they may face in the classroom. For the last slide, I would like to present the limitation and the direction for the future studies. I personally admitted, from methodological aspect, this study only portrayed only the truth within the science and the participant under investigation. Therefore, it needs to enlarge the scope. The focus was that the study conducted in the classroom context with regardless to the out of classroom context factors such as linguistic landscape, which may play a bigger role in sociolinguistic competence, and large the variables by involving more engagement to the context of digital communication, go abroad experience of the learners, other ecological aspect, and social reality. The last that I hope that in the future academic career of mine, I can expand the scope by conducting future studies that involve larger scope to involve provincial level, sub-agencies level, and to further confirm the result and the findings that I identified and found in this study. The Committee of Public Defense, the most distinguished audience, thank you. That's all I can present to you. Comments, feedback, and suggestions for further revision of this dissertation will be welcome. Thank you very much for your attention. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edi